Hi, this is Nikki Woods, and we are going beyond the studio on the Tom Joyner Morning Show on BlackAmericaWeb.com with George Durant, who is a senior sport administration major, right, and linebacker with the Louisville Cardinals that has pro athlete aspirations. How are you?
I'm all right this morning. How about yourself?
Is it early for you?
No, not really. It's 10:30. It's pretty late. I'm usually up at about 7.
Really?
Getting ready to work out, yeah. But we have 11. I have a 11:30 workout today, so this is perfect.
Oh, good. So we're gonna talk about the pro athlete thing in just a second. But first, let's start not really at the beginning, but I'm just curious why you picked Louisville. What did Louisville offer for you that made it your choice for a college?
Well, just really an opportunity. I wasn't really highly recruited out of high school, and so the year right out of high school, I didn't go directly to college. I went to a private school in North Carolina before I went to Louisville. But after that fall semester in North Carolina, I sat out in the spring semester, and I was back home waiting to go to school. And it's actually kind of ironic. A couple buddies of mine was getting recruited. One was getting recruited from junior college in California by Louisville, and a guy that I played with that was a year under me was getting recruited by Louisville as well. And so they actually had an in-home visit, and I stayed the night at their house with my highlight tape. And I gave it to the coach when he came. And so they took it, looked it over, and they started recruiting me.
Now, I heard that there's really like an interesting story around the whole signing. Was that it? Did you share it early? Did you give it to me, or is there a different story?
Well, that's kind of how I gained interest. But the signing, they actually wanted the guy who was coming out of junior college, one of my friends from high school, and I could tell they didn't really want me that much. They really wanted him, but he wanted me to go. So they were like, okay, we'll let him tag along or whatever. So I actually didn't sign a letter of intent before I got there. And I was given, I believe, but I had never signed a letter of intent. So that kind of went under a violation under the NCAA. So it was something I didn't know about.
Right.
So
you got an early lesson in kind of the business of sports and the NCAA. How did you feel about it afterwards?
I didn't know until we got a new coach in, Coach Strong, and he told me, he was like, that's a little fishy, So he like, I'm gonna look into that. And then he came back later and told me that son, we couldn't, continue to do that. And I actually redshirted my first year, and then my first year eligibility, which is had to be revoked because of that situation.
Wow.
And so instead of having 5 years to play 4, I was only actually able to play 3 years.
Okay. But apparently you've done pretty well in those 3 years, right?
Did as best as I could.
Because you are getting ready for your pro day at Louisville. Tell me about that and kind of how you've been preparing for that for these 3 years that you've been eligible.
Well, the first 2 years, kind of got looked down on myself because, I didn't really know the whole thing about it. I thought, I just wasn't playing just off of my, athletic ability or lack of, So, but I was like, I knew that I thought myself to be a pretty good player. But once I was able to play, I was like, okay, now I know, now let's show what I can go do. And being a full-time starter 3 out of those 2 years, my first year, which is my sophomore year, halfway through the season, I gained a starting role on our defense. But throughout my training thus far, I've been up here for about half of it with Anthony Stringfield up here in Virginia Beach with first string training. Really been a real good experience, not just athletically and training-wise, physically on our body, but mentally as well. He's actually put us around different people like financial advisors, guys that own his company, car dealerships, things that we're going to be walking into as we go into our rookie year. And also been around 3 guys that's currently in the NFL that's training with us as well, being able to pick their brain. So I definitely feel like being up here has been a blessing for me.
Good. So if you could describe your game in one word, what would it be?
Gotta say relentless, you know.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Scary, but not too scary. It's like tough, but not, yeah.
I wasn't scary, you know what?
I don't think you're scary at all.
I got a chance to see him on Hard Knocks a couple years ago, and he's just a character. He's like in character all the time.
Really?
You know, it's like that's him.
Yeah.
They were going to practice one, and they had to walk across the street, and he like hopped in a stranger's car and like take me to the practice field, and I'm like,
okay.
Excuse me.
So I know you've talked about several things that I would consider probably advice to young athletes, but what do you think is the most important? I mean, you've talked about like your mental game, and you've talked about, you know, not giving up on yourself, and I think you've said a lot about being prepared for opportunity when it arises, just training hard in preparation for that one chance to get in the game and show what you can do. But from you, that's just what I've gathered. But from you, what do you think would be your biggest piece of advice to younger athletes?
I would say, just whatever you want to be, you know, let athletics take you there. Don't use athletics as, you know what I'm saying, the ending point, because it's going to end sooner or later, whether it's right after high school, right after college. The average NFL career is 3 years. They say the NFL stands for not too long, you know, so just allow that to be a springboard to whatever you're wanting to do. And I say, whatever you want to be, and besides the football player, surround yourself around that type of people. You know, if it's the best, a lawyer, doctor, sport agent, you know, cosmetologist, whatever, barber. You know, just put yourself around the best type of people of that area that you can find. All
right. Well, I want to be 2 for 2. The last interview I did, you know, he got signed, so. You know, don't let me down, okay? I want my record intact.
Yeah, you know, I've been getting a lot of good feedback, you know, running behind his footsteps.
Yeah.
Everything that he's done, you know, okay, I'm like, whatever he did, I want to do.
Okay. All right. Well, you let us know. We're very proud of you. All the moms around here are signed because, you know, we want our sons to grow up and be like you. So we are very proud of you, and we look forward to you doing big things wherever it is, if it's on the playing field or if it's not. So keep up the good work. All right. We've gone beyond the studio with George Durant on the Tom Joyner Morning Show.